Welcome to another Coach's CatChat. Joe Stewart here with new head men's tennis coach for Linfield Athletics, Todd Mansfield, the week of the start of the spring season. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm upright. Let's put it that way. Not getting a lot of sleep, getting ready for this.
Yeah, you guys have a big weekend, hosting the conference champions George Fox on Friday, and then going up to play some Division I competition at Portland State on Sunday. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but it's an interesting path that's led you here over the years. You spent the last 17 years coaching high school. Before that, you were on this side of the microphone working in sports media and TV and radio. It's a really interesting, kind of long, winding path to get to this level for you, but kind of what drew you to this job and what's made you want to make the transition to the college level?
Well, I think what drew me is Scott Brocious. I mean, plain and simple, Scott's just what brings, I think, most coaches to this place. You sit down, you talk to them, you get the fever, you get everything going, and bam, it's done. So that was really what brought me here when it came down to it. But at the same time, I think the route was, I've got two kids. One's in college playing soccer out east at Skidmore, and then I've got a junior in high school. And he looked at me and he said, Dad, I know you want to coach. I know you want to go to that next level. You're not that far away. Just find something here. And sure enough, it all worked out. And so I've been able to live my dream, which is coach Division III college tennis.
That's awesome, and you had some high school basketball experience back there in your high school coaching years as well. With the media stuff, you've been around countless athletes and coaches throughout the last couple decades. How do you think all of those different experiences are going to benefit you here at Linfield?
Well, I mean, each situation's different. You talked about the years of coaching high school sports, and there was girls tennis, and there was boys tennis, and there was boys basketball, and some girls basketball in there as well. And then there were high school kids, and there were even some kids down in junior high school, or middle school, if you will. So I just try to grab a little bit from everybody. Like, how do you deal with this situation? How do you deal with that situation? Every athlete's different, and you have to approach it that way. I think I learned that early on in my career, that it was like, oh, yeah, they're all the same. No, not at all. And so I can bring that into this, and as I look at all 12 guys on the roster, I can say, well, this player needs that, this player needs that, and we can move forward.
So looking at this team, as you mentioned, 12 student athletes this year. Nice little number for a D3 tennis program, certainly. Last year, 4-9, just 2-5 in conference. Some progress over the last couple of seasons, but it's no secret that this program has been a little bit down over the last decade. It's certainly compared to the glory days of the kind of early, mid-2000s there for Linfield men's tennis. How do you kind of evaluate the team right now, the program right now, and what's your vision for guiding it into the future?
Well, I'll be honest, we're going to miss Seth Lee. Seth Lee graduated in the winter, and he was just an exemplary leader, a great player, somebody that the younger players could really look up to, and his effort was just nonstop. Practice, performance. He's gone on. He's like, Coach, I'm 25. It's time. I got to go live my life. And I say, you know what? Great. So I'm excited. He's my first alumni. The other guys, it's interesting. I think what I said is I'm never about, hey, let's be up here playing this level right away. I understand we're going to be here. I want to be there by the end. I'm all about the upswing. Wherever we start, that's where we start, but I want to finish on the upswing. They're proving to me that they're willing to put in the work, put in the time, and the dedication to become that better student athlete. Not only on the court, but also in the classroom, because the classroom's very important to me. But we've got a player who's filling in now as number 1, Brooks Lurfald. He didn't play last year because of some hip injuries. He's come back in shape with a dedication that I really last saw when I was playing Division I at Northwestern. So he is really excited. Alexander Rosenquist has stepped up. He had a broken hand in the fall, couldn't play. We made some changes to his game, and it's shining here in the spring. So I think all of these guys are ready. The energy's there, the dedication's there, and we'll just have to see how it unfolds. We've got a fantastic conference. Like you said, George Fox, Whitman's always up there as well, Pacific, Lewis and Clark. I mean, if you come to this league, you come to Linfield, you're playing at 1 and 2 players of Division I quality. I mean, that's how the landscape has changed. Not all 11 UTRs and 10 UTRs go to Division I. They're staying here and staying home. And as I go out and recruit and I look for those players, they come here to Linfield, they're going to have that great competition and elevate their game.
That's really great to hear about Brooks. I know obviously the team missed him last year, and certainly going to be an impact guy in the ladder right away.
Indeed.
Here. Rogue Stone, though, came off his second team All-Northwest Conference bid. You mentioned the graduation, of course, of his doubles partner, Seth Lee, but they were a pretty dynamic duo there together. He had a great season last year. It sounds like he's going to be right there in the top part of the ladder again. and kind of what do you see for him to close it out strong here in his final year?
Well, as one of my captains this year, I look to him for that leadership by example. He hits the ball harder than I see most players in this league. He can just rifle it as a lefty. He's dynamic. His hands at net are unbelievable. They're soft. He can give you that drop shot. He can put it back into the corner. He can explode an overhead at you. He gives everything every point. The key now is finding that right partner for him in doubles. We've got a couple of options. One of the interesting things about the league is we're playing both teams twice this year. It's new, so therefore I'm like, look, we're going to learn, we're going to grow, guys. I don't expect us to be perfect in that first match, the second match, but I'm going to try some different doubles combinations for him so he can get back, because I want him to be first team doubles. And in terms of singles, he's vital because this year the 3 doubles matches count as 1 point. So I'm like, okay, if we don't get it there, I got to have everybody performing on all cylinders in singles. And that's where he's going to really, really shine, I think, for me this year.
I think we all know certainly capable of getting that first team nod this season.
Indeed.
2 other seniors on this roster, Matosh Young and Cody Pickard, 2 guys that maybe haven't had the on-court success they would have hoped for in their time at Linfield, but certainly have been really big culture parts of this team. Along with, you mentioned Brooks getting back in the lineup and Alexander. So you got some good upperclassmen joining them as well. But for those 3 seniors that you've got leading the way this year, what are you looking to them for leadership-wise?
I like to use the term legacy a lot. And to me, I'm like, guys, we're only working together for about 6 months before you're going to graduate, but you are going to leave a legacy. And this is the one that I'm going to use next year when I'm talking to my freshmen, my sophomores, and those seniors. You got to leave a better legacy than the class before you. So no matter whether you play every match or not, you got to bring something to the match. At Northwestern, I could not break through to that starting lineup. I was number 7 in my days there. So I would drive the bus. I would go ahead and make sure every player had everything that they needed. And so I've talked to Tosh and I've talked to Cody, and I said, you guys will be in the lineup at times. You may both be in the lineup because of injuries, but if you're not, I need you. And people need to understand you're not part of a team just because you're in the starting 6. You're a part of the team because you're on the 12, and everybody has to be playing a major role to have us have success every weekend, and that's what I expect from them.
You mentioned Alexander Rosenquist coming off that hand injury, but had a fantastic end of the season, winning his last 3 matches to end the year 6 and 7. Ton of growth for him throughout the season. What do you need to see out of him for him to really make the leap and maybe become one of the top players in the conference this year?
Alex is such a fun player because he doesn't talk much, so you can't, and he just has this flat look at him. He just kind of looks at you like that, and you're like, wait, what's he thinking? So I'm learning how to get inside that. But the one thing about Alexander is I talked about Rogue hitting the ball hard. Alexander hits a forehand like I've never seen at any level. He can put it exactly where he wants it. He can rip it. The key that we got from him now is he's got a backhand. If anybody watched him last year, he did not have that. Now he's got it, and so he's showing the balance as a player. And I expect a lot of people are going to be surprised by him because they didn't see him play in the fall, and they remember him from last year, and he would not hit the ball that hard. This year we've changed his mental approach, and that's going to make a huge difference.
Cameron Paulson and Abi Acharaya, 2 guys that also solid performances at the back half of the lineup last year. Cameron, obviously, coming from one of the better high school programs, as you know well, at Westland, along with Nick Owens, too. They had great success in high school there. And Abi Acharaya, a lot of success at Prairie State College, out in Chicago, of course. You know that area, you know those programs. For those guys as well, just what do you see for them to just continue to contribute and hopefully pick up some wins at the bottom half of the ladder?
I think one of the things, Cameron being a freshman last year was kind of thrust into a position where he had to perform, had to play, and I think nerves kind of got in the way. I think his ability and his confidence and his quickness has really improved a lot. I've kind of maneuvered him a little bit at the net. Now, he's a demon at the net now. I mean, I'm watching him just be on top of it, and at 6'5", and arms of about a 6'9" guy, the ball's not getting by him. So he's all of a sudden learning, yes, I can play singles, but doubles is where I can really shine. So I'm expecting big things from him there. 3, that's going to be a tough spot for him, but I believe that he can grow into that as the season progresses. So I'm excited for that. And Abi, what can you say about this guy? It doesn't matter where you put him. He just goes and goes and goes. And I'm not sure exactly where he's going to play doubles. I've got him in that lineup somewhere. But his game at the net has improved so much in the fall and over the winter that I feel confident he can go 1, 2, or 3 in that. And now he knows how to attack in singles. So teams beware, okay? I'm just saying, where he's playing, beware of this guy. You know, you look at him and you think, oh, I don't know. And he just brings this energy and fierceness that I want from all of my players all the time.
Well, it sounds like depth is something that could really be a strength for this team this year, in a year where they're going to be playing twice as much tennis as they have the last 2 seasons. How big of a factor is that going to play?
Well, I mean, that's always, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, you know, with the opportunity that there are a lot more matches. 2 every weekend, you're going Saturday, Sunday, that could lead to more injuries. So you've got to have those guys of 7 through 12 ready to go at any particular time. These guys are. Tommy Gabrielson, he's another one from Mac High right here in town. His game is elevated in a major way, and he every day it seems like he's like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I go, yes, you can. So, I mean, we've got the opportunity for that depth to play a role. Nick Owens has been suffering from a few injuries, but he's going to be healthy real quick. So I'm excited for these guys. Yeah, depth is something I think maybe this team's been lacking, or maybe it's just been they haven't been utilized. I'm all about utilizing depth. And you know what? Some days a guy who might be lower on the ladder is going to play better than the guy that's higher. So you just have to have the right matchups and the right energy and focus, and these guys have it.
So we mentioned it, tough opening weekend here. Big opening weekend to start the season, hosting the conference champions, George Fox, on Friday, going up to play Portland State Division I competition on Sunday. Tell me what you're thinking with these teams, and what do you want to see kind of from a measuring stick standpoint for you as a coach against 2 tough, pretty opponents?
I think it's nice to have somebody so tough right out of the gate, because then it's like, okay, what do we have to work on? When you're talking about George Fox, they have been a program that's been right at the top for some time. Mitchell's doing a great job here in his 2nd year there. It's going to be loud, and you're going to see, I think, intense matches. Softball's not going to get a chance to come in here and practice. I think we're going to be here most of the afternoon. There are going to be some long matches. But I get the feeling that, especially because the fact we've changed the doubles from 3 points now to 1, it really adds a lot more importance to these singles matches. And I believe that our guys are neck and neck with them all the way down. It's just about up here. I think shoulders and down, we match up great. It's all about shoulders and above. If the guys are focused and they've got the confidence and the mental fortitude, then bam, I think there's an opportunity for us to really surprise some people here early on. Portland State, I've watched some of these guys play. Their number 1 guy is a player, Luca something or other out of Italy. Oh my gosh, that guy can hit a ball. If you want to see some tennis, get up there. Brooks is ready. He's like, I don't care what level he is. I'm going. I'm one of those junkyard dogs. I'm just going to go fight. It's going to be a great match. And I think all the way down, yeah, I'll be honest, I think they'll have the edge on us. But the learning to say, wait, we're not that far behind them. That's what I want them to see. I don't want them to look at the score and go, well, we lost. No. Just compare yourself, because you guys are close. Put in a little more effort, and we'll get there.
Excited for this weekend, certainly, as the Wildcats hosting the Northwest Conference champion George Fox Bruins for their season opener here in Rutschman Fieldhouse on Friday afternoon, before going up to play Portland State on Sunday at 10 o'clock. Friday will be a 4 o'clock start time here in McMinnville. We'll, of course, have live streaming coverage for you right here on the Linfield Sports Network. Coach, thanks for the time, and good luck this season.
Thanks very much.